Gonna find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some afternoon delight. My motto's always been when it's right, why wait until the middle of a cold dark night? When everything's a little clearer in the light of day. And we know the night is always gonna be here anyway.
And it looks like we are still recording, so that is great news.
There, we have a picture propped against the wall because none of our nails are strong enough to hold it, and it perfectly reflects my doorway to my room.
Mm-hmm.
When I go forget something out there and all the lights are off, I'm like, I'm gonna see something behind me.
Yeah.
And I run, like, drink the water and run as fast back as I can. So the demons don't get me.
All right. And with that, welcome to 30 and Nerdy. We're going to be trying something a little bit different.
I guess we're trying something different here, folks.
And it's going to be, we're going to try, I'm not sure what we'll call it, but 30 and Nerdy Shorts, where we're going to try and have 2 episodes come out every week.
Fuck that. They're called 30 Nerdy Jorts because AJ wears jean shorts.
I still remember, I can't remember how many years ago it was, but it was an E3 video brought by IGN where they're like, how many jorts you would see, and it's like, jorts. And like every time they'd say jorts, it'd just be a different dude walking through the E3 halls in jorts.
That's awesome.
I don't get the the negativity against jean shorts. They're already fine when they're long. Just cut them off so your legs can breathe. Come on.
I don't know. They're comfortable to me, and they're all the bonus of a short in jean fashion.
Hence why they're called jorts.
Yeah, jean shorts. They're really comfy. I like them.
You know, I like.
Don't like it. You can eat my ass.
Please sit on my face.
I like cutoff shorts that you actually cut off with a pair of
much rather like
scissors.
jorts than do that.
Yeah.
But everybody's like, yeah, cutoffs are trashy. I'm like, I think they look metal. So
6 of one, half dozen another, really?
what?
I think you heard me.
No,
No,
I
actually,
literally
I
didn't.
didn't.
It sounded
Said
like
6
you.
of one, half dozen of another. Same thing. Trashy. Ripped.
Exactly, 2 sides of the
Hey,
coin.
speaking of, because that just reminded me of a dozen eggs. So Frasier's getting rebooted.
Yeah, I saw. I didn't see it was getting.
Baby,
I saw
I
he
hear
was
the
talking
blues
about
are
it.
calling, tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Oh yes. And baby, I seem a bit confused. Well, maybe, but I've got you, babes. All right.
When I'm feeling a little fancy, I'll watch some
But I
Frasier.
don't know what to do with those tossed salad and scrambled eggs.
Beautiful.
They're calling again. Scrambled eggs all over my face. What is a boy to do? No, I'm really excited. But what's Fraser gonna do? Is he gonna have a podcast?
Oh my God.
Radio is still a huge thing. I mean, it's the only thing that you can have in the.
I'm
so maybe he'll be
listening
XM radio or
on
something.
demand.
But I wanted to do just the 30 Nerdy Shorts, just as something, a little extra filler between, instead of having 7 days or so between each one, and just some kind of short thing.
We know you're missing us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what it is.
Our numbers reflect it.
Maybe. Kind of what we're going through for the week, what we've gone through, what we're playing, what we're excited for. And then we'll jump in after that into our actual regularly scheduled show.
I used
But,
to try to say scheduled so much that that's how I said it, and it never caught on. I just sound like an idiot.
I scheduled it last week.
Like, I was in high school, and I was like, hey, what's your schedule for this year? They're like, my what? Like, I'm sorry, your schedule.
God, you were a fucking dork.
Yeah, was.
Is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all right though. We love you. I don't know. I've sort of been playing video games. No Man's Sky Next came out. Fucking phenomenal.
It's beautiful, though. And
Yeah.
if you wanted, most companies would probably call this their second game with how much they did to it. But
So one issue I have noticed is that people on the internet are just never fucking happy. So I'm in a No Man's Sky group, and I mean, there's people in there complaining about, oh well, the clouds are fucking terrible looking, and it's just like, okay,
Who cares? I mean, as
It didn't even
when
have clouds before. What are you bitching about?
No Man's Sky, when it first came out, even though it fell short on a lot of its promises, was still a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super fun just to be able to be in outer space, have 10 decadillion or however many freaking planets and solar systems that
Yeah.
you would never be able to visit them all if you had all the time and all of humanity's existence from every single person. You wouldn't be able to get to it all.
Right.
And so I love that there'd be a place that I named that's like David's Butthole 1, David's Butthole 2, 3, 4 of all the planets in this little system. And nobody would ever be able to get to it because they would be on the opposite side of the universe.
Exactly.
And I just love that.
It is a cool sense. Like, I'll leave those message capsules around. Like, if anyone in the coming years of this game's existence happen upon this planet, they'll read. It's just this.
And it's just cool to have that kind of
It
message in
just
a
says
bottle.
fart.
Yeah.
Fart, follow me.
Okay. Hello.
I made an underwater base. I found this super toxic planet, and I just drilled down until I hit this cavern of water, and I thought it was just like an enclosed kind of aquifer, but it was a huge cavern that connects to the ocean.
Nice.
And I built a
And it's so
nice
interesting.
base
I mean,
down there, and I named it the base formerly known as Prince.
I mean, it's just amazing that you can even, because how many people would be even think A, to do that, and B, that a person would program it to where this cave is hollowed out by water from the planet
Yeah.
that you can get to.
And it's massive. Like, I went so far, I'm like, I'm gonna get lost if I keep going and never find my base again.
Yeah.
But I put lights all around it, like at the opening, and there's a single hole in the opening.
I was always
on
afraid
the
that I would get
surface
myself
to get to it.
because I used to drill down myself, and then all of a sudden I'd be like, I don't know if I can get back out of this hole.
Yeah.
Because it takes certain resources to fly.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Well, if you do it at a certain angle,
then you can kind of.
you get the second you touch the ground. You
Brady,
keep
I wasn't
building
that
it.
smart. I just was like, I want to go down.
Oh, by the
Down
way,
straight.
I did do all this in the creative mode, so I had unlimited resources.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
But
But it does look interesting. I after talking about it tonight, I'm probably going to go upstairs and download it. And the nice thing is, at least before, it wasn't like a 70 gigabyte game. It was
I think
4 to 10.
as of now,
So
it's like
do you-
13.
But
do
that's
you
not
have
bad.
The,
Not at all.
The Founders update?
I don't know if I do or not.
So the Founders update's going to be like 6 gigabytes, and then this update's 9. Still, super small game because it's all procedurally generated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They
suffice it to say,
they
I mean,
get to
2 years of
save-
hard work. And I mean, and they've
Oh,
done
yeah.
a ton of stuff. I mean, the cooperative multiplayer, play the creator mode.
Me and AJ have some friends, Ryan and Jesse. They were playing, and it kept crashing for them. And
Really?
Apparently, multiplayer was bugged, but Hello Games knew about it, and we are actively working on
Oh
it.
yeah, and just like the cloud issue, they were like, we're already working
Yeah.
on a bug fix for it.
I mean, my goodness, I mean, like I said, 2
But
years, and
who
it's a
gives a shit?
brand
Like,
freaking new game.
I
It literally
flew
is.
through a ring.
Yes.
Yeah,
You flew through a ring.
The ringed planets.
ring planets.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's so
So
beautiful.
did you like actually go through the ring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't that like damage, or would your shield just kind of buffs it out of the way?
Shield just kind of buffs it. I mean, you can't really notice. It just gets really foggy,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
and then it's just like, and then you come out of it and it's just like clear.
And
And
that's
it's like,
so-
oh,
That is
It's
the
so
one thing
cool
that
to
I
land
wish.
and see it smear across the sky. It's like,
I mean, if we were ever able to get at least to our local cluster speeds of going places and having, kind of
the
Star Trek-esque,
Virgo cluster.
I would love to go to just seeing Saturn and see, because I mean they're really
Ah.
paper thin comparatively. I mean they're like a story or 2 stories high,
yeah.
Yeah.
but I mean it's just so dense with all the debris. That'd be amazing just to be able to sit there and look at it and watch.
Yeah.
It's called the Virgo supercluster, by the way,
Oh, yeah,
not just
sorry.
the Virgo cluster. Supercluster.
What are we talking about?
Our local group.
Oh,
The Virgo cluster is just like a convention for Virgos.
Yep. And just a bunch of Virgos at a convention,
Holiday Inn.
killing each other. Because that's what Virgos do, I think. I don't know. It would be the cleanest convention in the world.
But I will say my favorite thing from this update is the redesigned space stations.
Mm-hmm.
How it's not just a door you go through and there's 3 aliens.
It's lively.
It's like a huge open cargo bay full. There's like 30 NPCs just standing there.
and there's a bunch of different vendor shops. So
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, I'll sell you tech upgrades. I'll sell you weapon upgrades. I'll sell you this. I'll sell you that.
Yeah, it
And
feels
then there's like the
real.
galactic, actual
the hub.
that you can trade with. It's really cool.
Yeah, like what I told Ryan's like, did you like it before? And he's like, yeah. And like, well, you'll love it even more now because it's and just the simple quality of life changes they made, like making it super rare items more accessible through the what's that?
Oh, the accelerator.
Yeah,
The particle accelerator.
You can like refine certain elements into rare stuff. It's
Well, that's
like-
kind of cool.
yeah, so you don't have to go hope
Hunt.
you happen.
Yeah,
upon-
like
Land on
Oh,
the planet
cool.
and just happen to
So-
get the stuff
Yeah.
you needed.
So I have, single form this, and then I put it in, and it's like, okay, now you have the hardened metal version of it. And then you put it through, and then you
Again,
have the
yeah.
titanium version of it, and then you throw it in again, and then you just keep getting like rare.
Yep.
Like, of course, the number keeps going down of
Yeah.
how much you're gonna get, but
most of those rare elements you don't need much of.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's really well done.
Yeah, and the research visor is way better. It shows you where nodes are, so you don't have to just walk around and hope you get copper. It'll just say like resource here. It won't tell you what it is, but you have more of an idea now. And it also highlights vortex cubes, which I happened upon a honey hole of those.
Nice.
And I made like 800,000 credits.
Brady's honeypot of vortex
Yep.
cubes.
Don't come find me.
Don't at me.
I was gonna call my planet Big Ol' Cobb, but I hit R2 too soon, so it's just called Big Ol'. So look for me there.
Look at that biggle.
It's going to be a backwards planet full of rednecks.
People with one
Jort-
strap
Jort
undone
wearing
on their,
rednecks.
on their overalls.
Yep. And then, but beyond that, Brady and I have a band. I think we've talked about it before. It's called Giant Lord.
Yeah.
And we got another song done called Cloud. It's about a killer bomb cloud that murders people. It's so funny. We're in this. We write this this stoner doom metal, and neither of us do drugs.
No,
I do prescription drugs that are prescribed to me.
I take 2 Aleve every once in a while.
Oh, I went to the doctor, and I now officially have arthritis in my knees, and it's not just because I'm fat. It's hereditary. So I get to take a pneumoboxetone or something like that.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, these pills look like giant horse pills.
Pills.
And pills here, grabbing pills.
That was perfect.
Grabbing pills.
Because once he said it, I knew. And so
I too get that reference.
So I have arthritis, but we got our new song out, Cloud. So if you're into doom metal, check that out on SoundCloud /Giant-Lord.
Facebook, everything.
We're
I only
on
got to
Facebook,
listen to-
Twitter, Instagram.
I only listened to. You started singing, and I think I got 15 seconds in, but the opening was really sweet.
Thank you.
I liked it.
That riff was
Liked it
all
a lot.
AJ.
That whole song is pretty much me.
Yeah. I added some bells and whistles.
Yep. He came in a
Gave it the
sweet.
special sauce.
Yep. Gave it the special sauce.
Gave AJ the special sauce.
It's like a steak. You can put A1 on it, but it doesn't need it.
Yeah. So like seriously, what happened was I got same day PTO. I got it paid. I was like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go home. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna pull out the recording shit. And that riff came to me like instantly. And then I was like, well, what would go good with this riff? This sounds good. I recorded everything almost in one take. Got it put together into the program, put the drums on it, and then I was just like, oh, it's done. Oh, cool. All I need to do is record bass and have Brady throw whatever he wants to throw on it.
When I got there, he was playing it, and I'm like, oh, what YouTube videos is he watching? So he must be listening to for some inspiration. I'm like, no, you just wrote a new song. Oh shit, here we go. It's awesome. It's super fun.
That was one of the coolest things is that he thought I was just listening to some band, and I've shown it to my friends from the past who've all like gone and done multiple bands and everything else, and
yeah, his friends from the past didn't get it because like we're used to Mozart and Beethoven.
Yeah, but fucking assholes. Either way, both of them love it. They think that they're like, you need to keep doing this. Keep it going. You could really go somewhere with this. So I'm happy about it.
Me too.
And it's pretty much the number one thing I am concentrated on in my life. Because once I started getting happy from my medications, it was just instantly like, I want to do this. And now my brain's finally starting to slow down and be like, let's focus point on this. Yeah, I know the episode's running a bit long.
No, I messaged the guy because I was looking and I just happened to come across on eBay or somewhere because I've been, like you saw out in the garage, I've been painting my Corn Army.
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw that they actually had a Corn Berserker Codex because as 8th edition came along, a lot of like Chaos Space Marines used to just be one uniform codex.
Yeah.
And then you have like Thousand Suns, and you'd have can't remember what the Nurgle guys are, but whatever they're called, the Plague Marines. Now they both have their own codexes, so there's the Thousand Suns and the
Behemoth Marines.
Yep. And so I messaged the guy because I saw it, and they have some on Amazon for like $9. So it came out in 2015, and I can't remember if it was because it's either 7th edition or 8th edition. I'm hoping it's 8th edition because then it has all the rules and stuff like that for power
so you
level
can purchase it dirt cheap.
And then I can just go because I would like to have a fully just Corn Army and not just be like, oh, here's some Corn Berserkers and some this.
Yeah.
I want it to actually be themed from them instead of me saying, this is my theme.
Is that Corn?
Khorne.
Okay.
He is the Lord of Skulls.
I was just going to say, that's perfect that we live in Iowa. But
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's pronounced corn.
scraping the bottom of the barrel here. I'm sorry.
You said N is a Navy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So corn,
Yeah, I know.
like
yeah.
the band.
I know. I just want to know I was hearing it right.
I'm here to stay. Get down. I'm here to stay. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, boom, 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 boom.
But I was kind of... So the things I've been doing is... because I bought my first pack of Corn Berserkers, which comes with 12, and it's really kind of annoying because... I wanted to build them all with not power axes, chain axes, because it gives you +1 strength
Yeah.
and -1 AP.
Yeah.
Whereas chain swords are just the strength of the user and 0 AP. But you do get 1 extra attack for each one. So, I mean, it kind of, but it comes with 6 and 6. So basically, the next one I'll get 6, and then I'll make those 2 my squads. The one thing I was really happy about is because there was a little skull that came in the packs. And it was attached to a chain so you could put it on somebody's belt.
Yeah.
I was like, I kind of want to put that skull just to somebody's head. So I chopped the chain part off, and I think it was about the right size, so I stuck it on the body. And then I had to do some jerry-rigging around with some pieces because you're allowed to have your champion with a power fist, except that they didn't give me a power fist in this thing. And then you can also replace... his pistol with a plasma pistol, but they didn't give me a left-handed plasma pistol, so I had to cut somebody's hand off on their left thing and glue the thing on, and also chop the finger so it didn't look like it was a different a hand going the opposite way.
Oh, why'd you slice off my hand? You gave him the full Luke?
No, I just kind of shaved it down so you couldn't tell where his fingers were here, but then on the opposite side there just wasn't anything. So we'll just leave that black,
though.
so nobody will notice that. I will, but I just won't say anything.
Yeah, don't say anything.
But that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a little bit of Diablo 3, but I usually just do that when I'm editing and listening to the podcast.
It's just kind of like you're like...
Because it's something easy I can do that I'm not just sitting there looking at bars going by going, oh, do I need to? No, that's okay. Oh, AJ said something I need to cut. AJ talked about my balls again.
That's usually how it happens.
Yep.
It's just like, oh man, I'm sitting here looking at Brady's crotch.
75 cuts every time.
Yeah. And they're all for me.
It's getting old.
Well, I can't help it. Your guys' dicks are just there, and I just want to slap them.
Maybe we shouldn't record this nude anymore.
That'll probably help. That would probably do it.
Theater of the mind.
The best part is that they can't even see my junk because I'm so fat. So the fat just like hides my dick and balls. Can't even tell I'm naked. Well, you can. It's just surrounded by fat.
But
Let's move on from this, please.
But that's what I've been doing. So I built the Corn Berserkers. I've been painting Karn, Karn the Betrayer. And then, for some reason, so let's see here. What is today? Saturday. Friday, Thursday. I worked 6 to 2. And I was like, you know what? I want to go take a bike ride. And so I got on my bike, and we live right behind the Trestle Trail. And so I went down, and I've been on it before, but I kind of just went for maybe like 15, 20 minutes. I was like, all right, I'm going to turn around.
Yeah.
So this time I went, and I wanted to go 5 miles out and then 5 miles back, which takes you to what they call the Oasis. And I'm
Ooh.
Midnight at the Oasis.
and because if you look at the Trestle Trail, there's a bridge that has it's really cool design.
Yeah.
And when you get to the Oasis, it tells you, and I was like, I'd like to go to that bridge, but that's like almost all the way to Madrid, I think.
Yeah.
So it's like 14 more miles. Like, I think I'm going to turn around. Because it takes me about an hour to go 10 miles because I'm slow right now. So
well, hey man, that's a lot better than I can do.
But it is surprisingly a lot of fun. Because all I do is I just pop my headphones in and I listen to I've been listening to No Sleep. Today I listened to the last podcast on the left, and I mean it's really just I don't notice.
I would get weirded out writing and listening to No Sleep, especially because so many of their stories, at least in the current season, take place in woods.
Oh, see, this is because I mean you're surrounded by just farmland. I mean you can see.
You can see a serial killer coming from
because like
4 miles.
whenever I think of trails, I think they're in the woods.
I mean,
I just imagine you pitch black at night and you're like riding through the Trestle Trail.
I was kind of thinking about. Depending on what time we get done tonight, since my kids are at my parents' house, I was like, you know what, I might go out for a bike ride. But
Ooh.
Dude, I
also
love riding bikes at night.
Well,
you feel like you're going so fast because you can't see anything.
I would like to point out, though it's not really men being targeted, there is a really heavy influx of trafficking happening here.
Yeah, the guy just got picked up from the Flying J.
Really?
Yeah, like right down from your house in Altoona.
Oh my God!
And it's that I guess that was a trafficking spot.
Yeah.
Oh geez. Well, anyway, a lot of people have been being kidnapped, going missing, disappearing. When did this happen?
I saw the story just today, so I mean it had to be within the last couple of days.
Holy shit, man!
Well, there's people out there saying like 40, but that is a fake number.
Is it?
Yes.
I don't think so.
KCCI shared that it was
that
like
the influx
that picture that was a fake.
Yeah, they said
But
that,
there has been.
There are a lot, and one is too many, but they're not saying it's like a disproportionate amount right now as opposed to any other time. But
I still feel like I just kind of want to put that warning to anybody in the Midwest. Hey, be vigilant, be careful. If a woman comes up to you and says that she's having car problems, just don't trust it, because that's one of their biggest tactics right now is to try to win you over with a woman, and then they fucking snatch your ass. So I told KJ, I was like, look, if anybody wants help, you tell them to go fuck themselves and you leave.
Or you say, we'll go get somebody else.
Yeah. I just keep going to like these horrible nightmare zones with it, with like my wife or my kid being taken or both. And it's just like, fuck, man, I can't handle that.
This might sound macabre, but since I listened to so many episodes of the last podcast, I'm thinking like that girl that you at Iowa University.
Yeah, the one who just Molly Tibbetts.
I'm like, she's probably gone.
Yeah, more than likely.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And I feel terrible saying that.
Yeah.
And if she isn't, she's part of a sex ring.
And so I know this is also horrible to say, but if I had the choice between the two, I'd probably rather be dead than being
Yeah,
a
I
sex
would
ring.
much rather be dead than being raped for money.
Like, I watched this documentary about Johnny Gosh.
Yeah,
And
I
some
think
of
they
the
had that
Who
on
took
theories-
Johnny?
Netflix.
Yeah, some of the theories they had about like where he could have went. It's like that's worse than.
Yeah.
Who? I don't know. Lost for words. It's disgusting.
I don't know. I'm sorry to bring that up. It's just I'm worried about you.
Yeah, but
So
I mean, there's only a few
stay
places.
safe, stay vigilant, and carry a knife. I see nothing wrong with carrying something for self-defense like that. Plus,
So-
nobody expects knives. Everybody expects guns.
I thought somebody was shooting at not at me, but today, because I mean, you are surrounded by fields and farms.
Being here, you forget how far out
You're
of the way
like
we
really
are.
kind of out in the boonies, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. Just especially now that I mean the beans and the corn is all in.
Yeah.
Just so everything looks beautiful. It's not all ripped apart and brown. So I mean, there's only one spot right at the very beginning, because I get on there about like the 2.5 mile mark.
Yeah.
From the beginning of it, which is over by like Hy-Vee. Mm-hmm. And so there's one part, and I like it a lot because it just has this overhang of trees, and so you kind of go underneath, and there's a bench and stuff like that. But it is super. Just I love it. There's like there's one house that the trail goes across their basically driveway, and it's really cool. And then they also have a trail a little bit further on that goes back across because their fields are on the other side of the house as well. So that's really awesome. There's also a beautiful farm right at the oasis, and so I kind of know once I see that I just come around the bend and then I can turn around. But there is, and I think it's a house, but I don't want to look because every time I look, I'm still getting my bearings back from riding when I was riding, every day as a kid.
Yeah.
So if I look, it's kind of like when you first start driving a car and
You're on the
start
other side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
So I just look at it as I'm kind of coming up a little bit more kind of parallel with it. But it has this wall that's just total glass. I mean, it's several panes, but
Yeah.
that is my one dream, is to have just a house with a room that has been built that'll have glass from floor to ceiling. I'm picturing library, but it doesn't have to be. Just someplace I can sit and
Bathroom.
enjoy. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think
But just someplace that I can enjoy.
I've always wanted an outdoor bathroom. I know it sounds crazy, but just like shitting with nature.
Ever since you watched that episode of Scrubs.
I think so. Yeah. Just the idea of like being out in nature and taking a dump or taking a shower or bathing or
That
just
would be kind of
whatever.
cool. Have a farm, just have corn all around you.
Yep.
Just a
Yeah.
toilet in the middle of it.
And then you hear,
Oh God.
I just wrote your horror story, my friend. Man, I don't know why I'm thinking so macabre today, but that's just where the brain is.
But either way, so the last 3 days I've been going about 10 miles out. Back and forth.
That's pretty awesome. Like,
I'm trying to keep it,
You're,
but my
you're
goodness.
doing what I want to do because riding bike is like super
And
low
it's-
impact.
Yeah, and it's nice and easy. I mean, and like I said, you toss in earbuds and you're just kind of
How hilly is your trail?
not very. I mean, the nice thing is when you are going up the hill, if you're in a lower gear, I mean, you're not going to notice it. Now, if you're
Yeah.
slogging through on like a 5, 6, 7, then yeah, you're going to feel it. But the nice thing is then there's also those
Nice
kind of
dips.
just not dips. I mean, you just kind of know that they're a decline, and so you're like, well, I'm going to take this
Well,
advantage and not
because
pedal.
yeah.
so when
'Cause I'm
I
lazy.
lived in Beaverdale, I mean, the
Yeah.
hills are hills.
Yeah,
Vroom, vroom. So I would always do the trail that went. I don't know why this is a trail. I don't know why people actually use this trail. But it goes through the back of Beaverdale Woods. So I used to ride my bike through that trail and then down past the Hy-Vee in the ghetto. And then it keep going past on like official bike trail across like a trestle bridge that used to be for trains. And I was just like, why am I doing this? I'm going deeper and deeper into the worst part of Des Moines. I'm going to turn around now. And then it's just like, once you get back to Beaverdale, or to the Beaverdale Park, then it's all just this horrific uphill because it's from the bottom of 30th.
yeah.
And you know how huge that hill is.
Oh yes, I do.
So imagine them like twisting and turning it through that park. And it's just like, And this is when I was like in pretty good health at the time, and it killed me. And I was just like, I hate this. I just want to ride my bike on a flat plane.
Dude, those hills tire you. Unless you're like constantly doing it, it zaps your energy so fast.
Yeah. And I will say, I am about ready to go get just some huge grandma seat that will cup my butt.
Yes.
Because,
Yes.
oh my word.
Do it.
Like the first day wasn't bad. Second day, I mean, you get used to it, but I was like, oh my word, this is so
You gotta get
bad.
some ultra padded riding shorts.
Yeah.
Well, even
that
with that,
too.
it's still.
But that's why Walmart, that's their main seller right there in the bike department or in the toy department where the bikes are. Giant seats like this big. They're as big as my head. Bigger. They're bigger than my head. So it'd be like sitting on two of my faces.
A bar stool on your
Yeah.
bike. With
Yeah,
that
and
cushion.
it's so.
And I'm thinking about going for it because
Do
I
it.
don't care about looking cool. I just want to ride my bike and listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
I'm not here for speed.
You're not doing the tour
Because I had an old guy zip
You're
past
not-
me today. I was like, what the? All right, well, good for you, old
You're
dude.
not doing ragbri. It's not a big deal.
I was watching some clips from Tour de France because I used to wake up before school and watch it. And this guy was hitting 55 miles an hour.
Holy shit.
I'm pretty sure it was on a downhill section, but still, that's terrifying.
Yeah. I mean, and
That's the speed of death at that point.
because I used to do crazy stuff. Because back in New York, we had hills just like Beaverdale size.
Yeah.
And worse.
Oh, dude.
And I
when
would do dumb stuff like just go down it with no hands.
Yep.
And now I would be like, oh, I'm not even going to do no hands on this flat part.
I'd like cross my legs, Native American style, on over.
I used to do dumb shit
over the
like
center
that
bar.
when I was a kid too. So I mean, I totally get what you're getting at here.
The dumbest thing I ever did, I was crossed my hands on the bar and I instantly went down.
Ooh, like so my issue was I used to like go like speeding like down this because it was just a slight downgrade. So you would just build up speed over time. So I would have my bike down in like 20th gear, just like,
Yeah.
I'd have my hands behind my head, just like, and I wouldn't even like pay any attention to the idea that there's stop signs, but I'm just running them.
You're gonna get taken
And
out.
I got seriously maybe like a foot away from being hit by a car. And I still continued to keep doing my stupid shit.
Yeah, I don't know how I didn't get creamed.
I would like
As a kid.
I would go down, and then my house on 35th, there was like this weird corner hill that you could ride up, and it was like a perfect ramp. So I would go flying, and I think I was just doing like 35, 40 miles per hour by the end of this, because like gear 20 or 18 or whatever.
Your legs are barely moving, but you're booking.
Yeah, and I'm just like boom, 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 and then like I'd hit that fucking hill, my bike would go flying. I'd throw my bike, and I would land on my feet, and then I'd just go running inside.
Dude.
And I was like, I wish I was that fit again. I wish I could do cool shit like that. The idea of doing that makes me want to cry because I could just imagine how much my knees would hurt if I jumped half a foot. I'd be like, oh no.
Well, see, I used to, and I'm sure I've probably said it on this one, because we used to live close to the church. Because we used to live in the parsonage, and then we bought a house at some point in time.
Yeah.
And it was 2 streets over, but I mean, a fair amount of distance. Just, and so I would ride my bike sometimes, because the church was on top of the hill. And if you went back behind, you'd even go up in elevation a little bit more. And I would come down the hill, and if you hit the hill was super steep. It's about like
As steep as
like
30th?
as steep as 30th, but a lot longer.
Damn.
So it was that steep, and then if you went out into that one, that was like the main intersection of the whole entire town. So it was Route 12, so it was really busy. And we used to kind of play chicken with each other, where we would go for as long as we could, and then like bail off into whoever's huge yard, because their houses were tucked way back from that road, but so it was just like an acreage basically before you got to,
Yeah.
at least from what I remember. It may not have been that, but
Who
little
knows?
kid stuff.
Yeah.
So
you always
anyway-
remember things huge.
Yeah. So you'd come down and about halfway to the hill. There was another intersection that started our street where it kind of looped around. And so I would MotoGP it. So I would like have my knees almost probably scraping the ground and
Yeah.
zip around.
Fuck yeah.
And I don't know how I didn't hit some car that just was coming. Because, I mean, I would have been dead. Because
Yeah.
I was going probably about 30, 35. I mean, even if the car stands still, it's just me splat.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Done.
I don't know, man. Like, I used to do the dumbest shit as a kid.
Makes me afraid for my kids because my son's just about as dumb as I am. So
we did extreme bike drifting. Like I had a Diamondback.
Damn,
mountain bike.
you had.
It was like my parents were like, "This is the only bike we're buying for you."
well, Richie Rich.
And-
yeah, no
and it's
shit,
like-
right? Oh, you had a Diamondback, really fucking cool.
They're like,
yeah, I had a Huffy.
If
Fuck.
anything happens to this bike, you don't get another one. So I'm like, fuck you guys. So I'm gonna do whatever I want. And we would,
Whatever,
Like-
father.
we had in an old Altoona, there were a ton of gravel roads, and we would just get as fast as we could. And the brakes on this, I think, since I rode it so much, were worn flat,
Yeah.
so they just lock if I slammed on them. And I'd slide, and I'd be going perpendicular to the gravel, the way you're supposed to travel.
Yeah.
And be like, "Yeah, beat that, Ernie." He's like, "Okay,
Okay, Bert.
yeah." I bet he never heard that one before.
Yeah, right? Poor Ernie.
But then I remember we were on our bikes one day, and they were black topping our gravel alley that we used to drift on. We just watched it as our part of our childhood died.
Yeah.
Where it's like, "We want to ride to the park." It's like, yeah,
No.
we can throw rocks down the slide.
It's
See, we
such
used
a
to-
kid thing to do.
We used to do. Okay, so once again, I was not because I mean, when you're
I
a
was a
kid.
shithead. I was a pure shithead. I'll admit it.
Oh yeah, so if you can probably Google Earth this, and so Calvary Baptist was the name of the church, Valley Heights Christian School, and they're all one and the same basically.
Is this in Iowa?
This is in New York.
New York.
So if you go, there's a gymnasium, and then there's a hill behind it, and that's what we used to sled down. And there would be a little kind of gully, because if you went over that, then there's maybe about 10 feet of just grass where they'd mow, and then everything was just huge grass and weeds and thicket and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then there was a Motel 8 at the bottom of one section of it, and then if you went further to the left, I'm not sure if that would, maybe north, was like a gas station.
Yeah.
So we would kind of make our way down, me and some of my friends who did dumb stuff. Like I would always egg Jesse on. I'd be like, "Hey, we need some money for candy. Go steal some stuff out of the wishing well." So there'd be people there, and he'd just be like, taking some money. I was like, and there'd be some hippie there, like, "You're stealing people's wishes, man." We're like, "We don't care. We need money for candy."
Fuck their wishes.
So
I need a Snickers now.
we weren't that rich. We were just getting 10-cent candy.
Oh, okay. I need a Bazooka Joe bubblegum
That's
right,
right.
fucking now.
This is the dollar piece wishing well. Silver dollar.
But so we used to find glass bottles because people would drink beer and stuff like that back behind.
Yep, I
like-
used to do that shit too.
So we'd find glass bottles and just lob them into the gas station parking lot.
I
Get out of
did
here, you
that.
damn kid.
Except that these were like people had the really thick old beer bottles, so it'd be like tunk, and they wouldn't break. So we're like, this is
You were
Crappy.
the real life bottle kids from Trailer Park Boys.
basically. We only did it a couple times because then there was one time where an attendant came out and like looked up, and I mean we probably were like, hookered down in the weeds, even though they could see us probably. We're like, "Oh man, let's run."
It's so good.
This is a good short episode.
Yeah, it's getting really, really short.
Well,
I was ready to say we should probably cut it here. So I want to go ahead and plug our Patreon over at on our Podbean site. You can donate to us and help us make our dreams come true.
A whole new world. That's where we'll be. A thrilling chase.
A wondrous place for
You and me.
beyond that, you can hit us up on all of our social medias and talk to us in the Facebook group that we have, which is 30 and Nerdy is I forget what it's called now.
I got it.
30 and Nerdy Community, I believe is what I've called it. So official community. So go ahead and come in there, have some fun, and beyond that, my name's been AJ.
I'm Brady.
My name is David.
And thank you so much for listening.
Prepare yourself